Hey everyone, it's Roger with Village Craft and Candle. I'm super excited to bring you this episode of Create by Village. We're here in Kleinburg, Ontario, checking out Dino's business and this amazing entrepreneur who's created two brands, Crown Shaving Co. and Persons of Interest. Join me inside, checking out the latest products that he's designing and where this brand is going. Come inside. Guys, check out this place. Amazing display of products, apparel, scent is amazing in here, and I can't wait for you guys to meet the guy behind it all. Come join me. Dino.
Roger, pleasure to see you, man.
You too, man.
How are
Great.
you?
Thanks for having us here,
Welcome
man.
to the studio.
What a beautiful location.
Thank you so much.
Amazing space, amazing space. And I know we've worked together for a number of years now, and I've just, kind of seen you flourish into such a cool brand.
Thank you, appreciate
And
it.
the space says it all, man. Like, you walk in here and it's got everything from a little bit of a clothing line to just a really cool vibe of when you walk in.
It's got a good
everything.
energy.
Very good energy.
I mean, you
very
remember
good
the
energy.
older place was quite a bit smaller than this, so we have
Yeah.
a bit more room to play around in here for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And it kind of leads me to like my first question. Like, you're a maker and you're selling to a variety of different businesses. Is there a level of importance having a retail space like this for people to come and see, smell, touch your products?
Absolutely. I mean, when you're dealing with fragrance, everybody wants some type of touch point. It's hard to sell fragrance without having people having the opportunity to smell it.
Yeah.
So having a place like this allows our consumer to be able to walk in and touch, feel, smell. So yeah, I think
That's
it's
amazing.
important, yeah.
Now, this business did not look like this however many years ago when it first started. Walk us through your journey and what happened.
Sure.
'Cause you didn't have this space before.
No. Long story short, and funny enough, I started just across the street at that building over there. I was a barber in town. That was 16 years ago. Basically, the way my journey began, I was a barber doing shaves. Had reactions to a lot of the products I was using in the industry. Decided to come out with a shaving cream, and that was the initial product we started with. Worked with a local lab that helped me refine that. And started selling shaving cream to my clients, and it eventually snowballed into what you see here today,
awesome.
which is a lot more SKUs than shaving cream under our main brand, Crown Shaving Co. And over the last 5 or 6 years, we kind of dove a little deeper into fragrance. So we have a secondary brand called Persons of Interest,
Yes.
which is more personal fragrance, home scents, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I'm noticing these over here, and it's funny because you said you started off as a barber, and like many of our community members that started off doing, whether it's a line of crafting or something completely different, they started off with an idea that brought it to life. And walk us through, having that ideation in your head and thinking, do I have the confidence in myself to make this, come to real life? And you had a little bit of a head start being in the space where you can have your customers try your shaving cream. What's some of the things that you learned if you hadn't been in the business? Like, what were the steps you would have taken any different when starting out a new product?
Well, I think starting out when I did was the right time first and foremost. There weren't too
Right.
many grooming brands in the space at that time. There were your usual drugstore type brands, but there wasn't anything specific like Crown Shaving, which is a little
Right.
bit more luxurious, a little bit cleaner ingredients. I think it's very challenging to try and get a brand growing, but at the same time, these days compared to 16 years ago, also a lot easier. There's a lot more opportunity out there. There's a lot more places like Village that people can call on that can help founders getting things going. The initial stages of getting a brand going could be tricky. With companies out there like Village Craft and Candle, it really gives the maker an opportunity to learn and have support.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's one of the things that, we stand behind is that regardless of the size that you are, regardless of what stage you are in your business, much like yourself and the journey you've been on, we're there to help you guys kind of continue that ideation into execution so you can build a brand, focus on how to market yourself, and we can at least help you as in many ways as possible, bring in that concept to reality so you can help scale and grow your business, which leads me to kind of the next point, and we're standing in front of this amazing looking product, which is part of Persons of Interest brand, completely different from the shaving company, but now you're getting into perfumes and colognes and room sprays and other types of home fragrances and a variety of products. Going from a men's grooming line to what would be more of a generalized, home aromatics and personal care line, what made you think that next step was you were ready for that? And then what kind of built you the confidence to say, let's switch gears and go to another type of brand focusing on different products?
I think my curiosity more than anything. I mean, I was happy in the men's space, but you're also very limited.
Right.
I have that certain demographic, and that's it. And I wanted to play more with fragrance, more with candle making, room sprays. That type of clientele is not necessarily a fit for that type of
Right,
product.
right.
So Persons of Interest was really just more of a exploration of my curiosity and sense.
Right.
And again, having the right people to help you along the way. We wouldn't have been able to do this maybe 10, 15 years ago. It would have been a lot more difficult to get containers for candles, to get
Right.
beautiful room spray bottles. It's a lot easier now thanks to companies like yourself, and it just makes that journey a lot easier to go down.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And one of the things I want to highlight here is we're kind of looking at a product that is completely different than the nature of what you guys had started off
Sure.
with, which is you got almost like a shower mist spray over here.
Yeah.
Packaging is absolutely stunning. And one thing that we want to highlight is how brands build themselves from packaging, labeling, and kind of the image that you represent, whether it's on a shelf, whether it's online. How much emphasis are you putting on making sure that people are aware of who the brand is just by looking at the label?
Yeah, I think that's very important. I mean, we're in a very saturated market, so you gotta carve your niche. You gotta know your audience, and I think I know my audience. We're kind of a low-key brand. We're not really easy to find.
Right.
So by having a certain look, a certain packaging, we know that we have a certain consumer that is looking for that kind of look.
Right.
And yeah, we definitely put a lot of emphasis in the product selection. We can put out 100 fragrances. We could put out 100 different scents of hand soaps and creams. We're very calculated in the types of scents we put out, and we don't want to just put more stuff out just for the sake of putting it out there.
Right. And
We want to be conscious of, don't put out so much stuff. We want to be conscious, of course, of the environment and everything. So we don't want to put out 1,000 bottles of plastic of something that smells the same as something else just to do it.
Sure, yeah. And so on that note, if I'm starting out, I'm new, and I have this idea of product, I'm working with my vendors to kind of bring this idea to reality.
Yeah.
What's some of the suggestions you'll give someone starting out in terms of focusing on the brand and making sure that your image and what kind of persona you want to bring out is made clear to the consumers?
I think that's the thing. Everybody wants to know who the founder is behind a brand, so it's nice to have a story.
Yeah, good.
Story
I
is
like
basically story. Like a lot of the stores that we're selling to right now with Persons of Interest. Well, let's go back. Let's go with Crown.
Yeah.
I'm a barber by trade, so people definitely want to know the story behind the barbering. They want to know, how deep does barbering run in my family? Who else is a barber in the family? Is that what got me going down this path? So I think having a story that people can look at and resonate with, again, it goes back to what are you selling? Who do you want your audience to be? And then you create that story for them.
Yeah, I love that. And one thing that I also am noticing, and you've done an amazing job with this, is you've started off with, let's say, one product that's evolved into a variety of other men's grooming products. But now someone can come in and shop with you that has either shopped with you before or is now starting out and can get a variety of different products, whether it's a candle that you make, a shower spray, a perfume, back to the kind of the OG product, which is your shaving cream, or a number of other products that you make that, can accommodate a slew of consumer goods. And I think one of the positives of this is that you expand yourself as a brand.
Sure.
In kind of in my thought with this, how do you manage the mix of products that at this point is quite a bit? How do you manage it to keep the expectation of the customers kind of at a high alert, they're getting what they want, but then managing it from a business perspective, from the capital side, from the marketing side? Like, you're putting out stuff that you like, you're putting out stuff that you think would resonate with the brand itself. How are you managing when to get rid of something or when to add something else into this mix of products?
Good question. Yeah, listen, if something is selling, you keep it and you try to focus on that core product that is selling good. We have had SKUs that haven't done as well as we'd hoped, and you slowly just kind of phase those out. Once you get to know your audience and what they want, we focus more on those types of products.
Yeah. You're an entrepreneur, you run a small business. Every day is not full of rainbows, sunshine, and butterflies. On the days where you feel down, things are not working, how do you tell yourself to pick back up and get going again? Because every entrepreneur deals with the lulls of running a business. It's an everyday thing. What's your way of kind of saying, I'm going forward, I'm not stopping? Talk to kind of our audience to let them know, like, what's your strategy?
Yeah, that could be tough for any entrepreneur, and especially any creative, especially if you're a smaller brand and you don't have a whole team around you to kind of bounce things off of and to share the wins and to share the losses. 100%. It gets a little tricky. For me, it's just a matter of staying focused. Sometimes I'll lose my creative drive. I'll just take a couple of days off. I'll step back. I'll look at what we're doing. I'll communicate with some of our customers, and to be honest with you, a lot of times it's the customers that keep me going.
Yep.
You check your reviews, you get an email from a customer telling you how much they love your product, how happy they are that they found your product. You just got to stay positive. It's a tough business, but you got to stay positive, and you got to try and stay creative.
Yeah.
A lot of times I'll also just say, shut it down for a week, and I'll take off to New York where I get a little bit of that electric vibe, a little bit of inspiration.
Yeah.
Come back, start fresh, and you're good to go.
Yeah, no, I love that. And you brought up something really critical, which is, you know, when we highlight businesses, everybody thinks that there might be 20, 30 people involved in this business. And, you know, it's a testament to yourself. You built a brand as successful as this one, you know, for the most part, you know, by yourself, whether it's from the design, the R&D, the testing, you know, the branding, the marketing, etc. And it's not an easy task.
It's not, but again, that's a personal choice. Some people prefer to have a larger team and scale faster. I prefer to keep it tight. As you know, this is a family business. You see my son Armando's back there working on a project for us. My wife is involved in the business. My daughter helps out with social. So for me, I feel comfortable keeping it small.
Yeah.
Everybody, again, is different. Some people want larger. They want to scale faster. We're content at where we are right now, keeping it small.
And I love that. And that's part of the story of the brand, right? Because people understand that there's quality in the product. There's a story around where you've come from, you know, as a barber to developing a variety of products, you know, in high quality men's grooming to personal care to home aromatics. And it's still a small, tight family business that continues the integrity of
exactly.
You know,
there's a lot of intention in what we do. And I think with growth, sometimes you'll lose that. So we're really comfortable and really happy with where we're at right now.
Awesome. You mentioned that one of your first products was the shave cream that you made as a barber. Normally during these series, I kind of ask, you know, what's the first product you made? What's your favorite product you have today? And what's one product that you may be thinking of bringing out soon if you're able to share that information with us, or at least a category of that product?
Sure.
So first product, is it the shave cream?
Shaving cream was the very first
The
product.
OG, the shave cream.
Still our top seller for sure.
Interesting, okay.
Favorite product currently, I would have to say, is from the Persons of Interest line. I mean, it's a simple product. It's our shower mist. It's basically a eucalyptus shower spray. It's just an invigorating spray. You hop in the shower, get the hot water on, give it a few squirts in the air, and it's just very invigorating. Feels like you're at a spa.
Yes.
So that would be my current favorite product.
What's on the docket? What's coming
right
up?
now? So for Crown, we've had a beard balm since almost day one as well. That was, I think, our third SKU that we added.
Okay.
And that beard balm at the time, beards weren't really a thing back then. We're talking 16 years ago. So we were selling that mostly to a barbershop in Milan.
Wow.
That's got like 5 barbershops. People have been asking for years, when are you going to do a beard oil? We've never done a beard oil. I was never really a fan of the heavy oils. I prefer a beard balm. But as you age and as your facial hair changes, I'm starting to get those flakes now, like a lot of guys get. I don't know if there's any on me right now. Anyway, that's a thing that guys will experience with beards. So instead of doing just your standard beard oil for shine and for conditioning, we're doing a little bit more of a hydrating oil. It's basically an anti-flake beard oil.
Love it.
So that'll probably be out end of this summer.
I love it. Amazing. Yeah. And so I very rarely see maker brands get into the apparel accessory business. And again, it's just like to support the whole brand and the integrity. And I'm a firm believer of, if there's a brand that you like, when you test something with it, whether it's putting on their shirt, using a candle or et cetera, whatever it may be, you feel that brand.
Yeah.
What's the inspo behind the clothing that we see here, which is absolutely incredible, mind you. It's very few SKUs, but what a cool vibe that you have here with this
Very
with this
few
cool concept.
SKUs and very limited edition. We only do so many pieces of each item.
Right.
Sometimes we'll bring it back, sometimes we don't. So once it's gone a lot of times. Yeah, I think, again, it goes hand in hand with telling our brand story.
Yeah.
We have so many people that initially, once we turned them on to Persons of Interest, they love the logo, they love the look of it. So once we were getting all that feedback of how much people love the look of the brand, I mean, it was just a no-brainer to kind of go into some merch. T-shirts, caps, jackets. As you see here, we even do leather bags.
Yeah, I love that.
But again, very limited. That is not our focus. We're not going to become a clothing store. We're a fragrance, personal fragrance and home fragrance brand that does pretty cool merch.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
And it's important to have people repping the brand out there. I can't tell you how many times I'll get a message from a customer who's walking around with a jacket and tells me, I just met someone on the subway who's wearing the jacket. And we're like, hey, we're part of the same cult.
Absolutely.
So it's about growing your community. That's what amazing. The merch really helps with. Yeah.
That's amazing. So this series by Village is called Create, and it really stands around the fact that you technically can create who you want to be personally, professionally, physically, emotionally, mentally. As a business owner, you're really defining every day that goes forward for yourself. What does create mean to you, and what did it mean to you throughout this entire journey, and what do you think it means to you moving forward? What's your definition of create as a business owner, as an individual, as a person?
That's a tough question. For me, it just means exploration and curiosity, and of course finding your niche of what it is you like to do, whether it's men's grooming, whether it's home fragrance, whether it's body care, and just let your creativity go.
I love it.
Follow your heart, follow your gut, and good things will happen.
I love it, man. I love it. Listen, man, you've been a huge supporter of us, and we can't thank you enough. And we wish you nothing but success with this amazing company and this amazing brand. Keep making amazing products. Keep kicking butt. You're doing a great job.
Thank you so much.
And we really appreciate it. We're going to drop all of Dino's links to find his products, to get more information, access to see everything that he makes. Really appreciate you doing this, man. Best of luck. We'll see you soon, okay? Thanks, everyone. We'll see you soon. Thanks for tuning in.